10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to a very, very, very special episode of Clever Title Pending. I hope you're all having a great afternoon. Welcome. I'm Brian K. Morris, as you may have guessed from the introduction. Thank you, Amy Hale. And welcome to what we do. We're here to celebrate Cathy Jackson's books and brand new one written on her heart. Now, last time I did this thing for Cathy, she and Matthew were quite amused because I stopped looking at my notes. And the first book was called Written on His Heart. I later called it Written on Her Heart, written on their heart, written on just about everybody's heart. But anyway, we're going to try to do it right today. And if you're watching us on Cathy Jackson's books, please, if you enjoy any part of this, please give us a thumbs up if you would. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, we hope that you'll give us a thumbs up there too. And when you're on Cathy Jackson's books, please like that page as a thank you to our grand hostess here. And you probably hear noise outside the window. Just ignore them. We are. But anyway, I'm Brian K. Morris, and I do a little bit of writing through my outfit, Rising Tide Publications. And we have sold books on 3 continents. So I'm hoping that means we're doing something right. Also, we, once I get my stuff out of the way here, we write for other people, including the award-winning Pulp Reality #1. It's great adventure stories, all kinds of cool stuff going on in this one. So we hope that you'll pick up a copy on Amazon. But before this show is done, we hope you'll pick up a copy of Written on Her Heart and the prequel Written on His Heart from the one, the only Cathy Jackson, because she's awesome. And also, if you're watching us anywhere, whether it's on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to give us a like, if you would, please. And also, please subscribe to the channel, because we do other shows. Yes, we do. Cathy said I can mention my stuff, and I'm like, try and stop me. Anyway, we do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do a show called Nevermind the Furthermore. It's a creative conversation and coffee with all kinds of interactivity. You type, I read it, we talk. And also on Tuesday nights, turned right side up, Brian, we do a show called Clever Title Pending, where we talk about creativity and the business behind it. And if you're into comic books, on Thursday nights, we do a really fast-paced show called Comic Book Spectrum with my co-hosts Clyde Hall, Brian Rodman, and the Eric Hawkins. And we hope you'll tune in for any of that. Please subscribe to the Rising Tide channel page on our YouTube channel. And thank you to Brian Rodman and Willow Schuyler for sharing this out. We appreciate it. If you're enjoying any part of this, please share it with your friends. And we also have comments that we're going to read, and I'm going to make it Ask Me Anything. The one nice thing about Cathy, well, there's many nice things about Cathy. She is a wonderful lady. Is that she is so generous with her time and her information. She's been a huge help to me, which is why I'm more than happy to do that. And Daryl Shaw, thank you for sharing this too. When I'm notified from Google Chrome, I will tell everyone what the kindness you've done me, and I appreciate it. But no. It's always exciting when somebody releases a new book, and whether it's you as a writer or someone else, it's still kind of fun. And Cathy, of course, generous person that she is, she's allowing me to share my excitement with you guys and gals. And as always, please comment, and wherever you're watching, and I should be able to pick it up. So if you're watching on Cathy Jackson's books, or the Rising Tide Publications page, or my YouTube channel, I should see it. And hello, Ryan Permisson, a great broadcaster. Check out his shows on the Hanging with Web Show Network on Facebook and YouTube. He's awesome. And so is Teresa Dunn, who is a poet out of the Keokuk, Iowa area. She has 2 books written right now, Poetry Expressions, Volumes 1 and 2, both available on Amazon, and they're both fantastic, so please check them out. Please support all the names. If you hear me dropping names and giving plugs, as my friends say, here comes Brian, get the power strip ready because he's bringing the plugs. Please check them out. And I'm going to also share something here. If you haven't already, please check out Cathy Jackson's book, Written on Her Heart. We are sharing it right now, or we're about to, which, there we go. That's what we wanted. And here is that. We're going to bring that in. We're using StreamYard because it makes it a lot easier. But check out Written on Her Heart. And already she's got a 5-star review. That's fantastic. And it's what Cathy does so well is she writes contemporary Christian romance, which if you see any of my broadcasts, you probably think, what does this guy know about Christian Christian literature? But no, Cathy wrote the very first book that I enjoyed as far as being a romance. I've read inspirational stuff and I've really enjoyed it. But I'd never read a full romance book before. I tried reading, I saw an article on Barbara Cartland back in the 70s, and I tried reading one of her books, and I'm like, I wound up throwing it across the room after a page and a half. It was just a little too genteel for my tastes. And then I tried reading like Jacqueline Suzanne and Jackie Collins and some of the contemporary romance writers of the day, and I just couldn't get into those either for some reason. But Cathy and I met at a comic book event, I believe it was many years ago, and we hit it off. I, my wife Cookie, and her husband Matthew, who is a great designer, by the way. He's designing a book cover for me soon if I ever get back to writing it. But anyway, which I will this year actually. But I got a book from Cathy. I just wanted to see what her writing style was like, and I wound up not just liking it, but I enjoyed it enough to read it to the very end. And I'm privileged to have been a beta reader on a couple of her books too, which was really nice. A beta reader, for those of you who don't know, is when the author has edited the book to the best degree they can. You see this a lot with authors who are looking to have somebody else publish their first book, or a self-publisher who is looking for some input, because we get so close to the project and sometimes think we can do no wrong, or we have done as good a job as we are able to do. And having a fresh set of eyes to read the story really helps. First thing you have to tell your beta readers is, don't worry about my feelings. And that's sometimes the only part that they listen to. But anyway, we've got some comments here from Facebook. Facebook user, hey, how are you? Greetings to you. And this is a glitch. Normally, StreamYard allows me to see who is speaking to me. And if you look up above, if you're on Facebook, you'll see a link to the StreamYard page on Facebook, where you can go there, just basically click on there, give it a like or something. It's very simple. And then come back here and I'll be able to see you and know who you are, because I crave to know your identities. Anyway, we're glad you're here, though, nonetheless. And please keep talking to me, because otherwise you'll have to listen to me for the next 50 minutes. How badly do you want that? But what we want is Jeffrey Hayes. Good afternoon. Another dose of Brian. This is a good Saturday. Yeah, we've been administering dosages of Brian. This is a binary sort of broadcast. We were on earlier with a wonderful group out of Iowa called the Writers Room. Erin Casey, who is a fantastic novelist. Check out the Purple Door District on Amazon. She invited me to do a little talk there, and talk is what I do. Well, storytelling is what I'm about. So that's where I'm at. Storytelling, whether it's verbal, like what we're doing now, or whether it's on paper or ones and zeros as the kids are doing it nowadays, right? But anyway, it's all about telling stories and enjoying what we do. And Jeffrey Hayes, who is a fantastic artist, by the way, and he's doing covers for me too. He's doing some trailers for my books, which we can talk promotion, folks. If you're not doing if your sales are slumping, chances are you can lay the blame at the feet of promotion. And if you can find them, if you can't find them, it probably means you aren't doing any promotion. But anyway, Jeffrey Hayes of PlasmaFireGraphics.com, when the look of your book matters to you. Being a part of author groups, even as an artist, inspires my creativity. Yeah, that's something we were talking about briefly when I was at the writer's room this afternoon, was community. Now, we have a community that I shouldn't say it revolves around me. It really shouldn't. But we call ourselves the Nevermorians after the morning show that launched the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And yeah, we have a network. It's called Nevermind the Furthermore. And that show's been going about 6 years now. We started it not long after Facebook announced that they would allow broadcasting on their platform. And it's expanded now to not just myself 3 times a week on Nevermind the Furthermore, but also Tuesday evenings on Clever Title Pending, and Thursday nights on Comic Book Spectrum, because I'm a long-time comic book collector. That's where I learned to read, by the way, between that and cereal boxes when I was very young. But anyway, yeah, but hanging around guys like you, Jeffrey, and and my writing peers and my artistic peers, and also I have a circle of cronies in my comic creating field, because I do write comic books occasionally. That's a lot of fun and very good discipline. If you think writing a novel is hard, try writing a 23-page comic story. It will test your mettle to the utmost. But anyway, but no, and I gotta say, Jeff, I'm glad you're part of our community too, because you are an inspiration too. And he's crazy talented. Please check out PlasmaFireGraphics.com and also check out their Facebook page, #AlwaysPromote all others. And Joe Dog McKeel of Stupid O'Clock, who is part of the broadcast network. Howdy again. Good to see you, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Joe Dog McKeel is a fantastic broadcaster. He's part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, which I'm going to show you. Take a screenshot of this. We've got shows that cover 7 days a week. And tonight, Joe is going to be on with a show called Stupid O'Clock. And it is very intelligent geek conversation and talk about creativity and science and other amazing things. Plus, he's got a regular show called The Armchair Rocket Scientist, where he and some of his very intelligent friends get together and we watch, and I say we because I'm a huge fan of the show. We watch launches of NASA products and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It is a great show, and Joe Dog is fabulous on it. But anyway, he's going to be working tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. Oh, yes, we've been doing too much broadcasting today. But it's a great show, and we're proud to be a part of that Rising Tide Network. And Molly Daniels, good to see you. Greens. Brian, trying this again. What, were you having no success earlier? But Molly Daniels and her alter ego, Kinsey Michaels, great writers, and please check out their work on Amazon as well. And Brent Schurman, good to see you. Like the COVID-19 vaccine, are there any side effects to these doses of Brian? Yeah, you get smarter. You get a lot smarter and actually sexier too. So I would advise you to get a double dose, Brett. Anyway, this is our second shot of Brian. I'll have to let you know. That's right. We are the second shot. So the first one at the writer's room took care of your rabies, and this one will take care of distemper. So you're covered, Jeff. You are covered. And the skunk rocker belches with a happy anticipation, because Skunk is going to be on Stupid O'Clock. He is a regular on there as a fine, super fine show. And Brett Schurman, boy, howdy, is there side effects. You want to write more. You want to plan your day around when shows are scheduled, and you get a big smile on your face. Thank you very much, Joe Dog McKeel, for that unsolicited testimonial. And remember, 8 more days, free Joe Dog for Facebook broadcasting. But anyway, Yeah. We talked about earlier, and if you have anything you'd like to ask about, please do. I am an open book. Sometimes that's not always a good thing, but we were talking earlier on the writers' room about promotion, and that's something that a lot of writers don't really. That's not their favorite part of the day, let's say, because we'd rather be sitting behind the typewriter and creating whole new worlds and making things happen, just forming new stories out of the ether between our ears. But promotion is vital. This show started out as promotion. In fact, we started about 6 years ago. We're still hoping to get it right too. But we started about 6 years ago, and it was right after Facebook began the Facebook Live thing. And so I got on, realized my little steam-powered cell phone could run the program. So I got on, and I thought, well, let's talk about how awesome I am, how awesome my books are, where you can buy them, why you should buy them. And after about 5 minutes, I started getting bored. I mean, this was like, oh, God, talking about myself was excruciating, which I know is a thing with a lot of authors. They don't like talking about themselves. But I changed the focus to two things. One was I didn't talk about myself so much as the work. Very proud of all the things I've done. Like, I'm proud of the story in here. Is this one a recent industry award for best anthology and best cover by the fantastic Damien Aviles. He's an incredible artist, excuse me. And the next one is going to be by Jeffrey Hayes. Or no, Jeffrey isn't doing the exterior, but he's done a spot for it. And I will pick that up later, Jeff. By the way, hashtag always talk to your friends and no one will know what you're talking about if they're listening in on the air. But Clayton Merwin, that's right, Clayton Merwin did the second issue. I hope we get a Jeffrey Hayes cover on there. That will be amazing. But anyway, but promotion is very vital. And a lot of people gravitate towards the larger publishing houses because they think, well, then I won't have to promote. Well, here's a secret. They think, well, I'm going to get picked up by Stephen King's publisher, then I'll have nothing to worry about. I won't have to promote. They're not going to book you as a first-time author more often than not. They're not going to book you on the Today Show. You're not going to be anywhere near the Good Morning America set. But they're going to get Stephen King on there, or Jeffrey Deemer, or whoever the hot writer du jour is. J.K. Rowling will be on there. James Patterson will be on there, but you won't, because advertising promotion from the big companies are for one thing. They're not to tell you we've got this guy we just picked up, or this woman who's written a really good romantic book, or a really great how to fix your car book. They're going to say, hey, you know that author you're already a fan of? Well, we've got a new book. Come and get it. That's what it's about. It's not about building your career. It's about selling their hotter commodities. You just happen to be part of the thing that fills out the catalog. That's not to say they don't appreciate you, but it's just to say that you're still going to have to do your own promotion. And the sooner you get used to that idea, the better. And in fact, I kind of like promotion now, because I found that broadcasting helps me. And if you're not a broadcaster, even then, you can get your message out by simply posting on Facebook or Pinterest or LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever, and get your message out there and hope somebody takes it up. So, and Brian Rodman, Memoirs of an Angel, great comic book. Looking forward to that. 2 BKMs in one day, you spoil us, sir. Sir, I am spoiled by your presence here. That is where the spoilage goes. But thank you for being here, Brian, as always. And Brian is one of my co-hosts on Comic Book Spectrum, along with Clyde Hall and the Eric Hawkins. Don't accept any substitutes. Molly Daniel says, plans today were derailed by rain and the fact that hubby is trying to pass another kidney stone. Oh, dear God. Ouch. But good news, I finished my robot story. Yes, hashtag relief, hashtag what was my 16-year-old self thinking? Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Molly. Well, one, we haven't gotten the rain yet, although it looks like it's about to open up any second up here in the wilds of Hoosiervania. But yeah, I know what I thought writing a book would be like when I was a teenager, when I first started getting the yen to enter the writing world professionally, and was trying to polish my craft, as it were, at that age. I was a very unpromising student, though, I will tell you. And I thought writing a book would be really reasonably easy. When I was, I think it was the summer between my freshman and sophomore year in college, I spent the summer writing a fantasy novel, sword and sorcery, basically, with a little touch of science fiction. And when I got it done, I got one draft done, and I'd used the thing with the we didn't have sticky notes back then, so I had to use 3x5 file cards, which still works, people. It still works, but I don't use them anymore. I've refined my technique, but I wrote this book. I got through the first draft. I finished the dang thing. I finished it, and then I sat down and read it, and I thought, this is a big, flaming, steaming pile of garbage. It was unreadable. In fact, when I moved several years ago from Illinois to Indiana, I made sure that that manuscript was destroyed. There was absolutely no salvageable idea or line from that thing. But it taught me I could do it. But I spent a number of years trying to figure out how, and usually writing myself into corners or falling out of love with the story, whatever. And then about 10 years ago, I finally pieced it together, the method that would work for me. And everybody's process is different. So I can tell you how I do it, and you can try it, and I urge you to, if you haven't done this before. But if it doesn't work for you, then just try something else, because as long as you get your work out there, you get it done and get it out to wherever it needs to go, which is mainly in the consumer, the reader's hands, then that's the system that works. So anyway, Molly, hope you're keeping it together down there, and congratulations on finishing that story. Jeff Hayes says, I have learned so much about promotion, crowdfunding, and self-publishing after becoming a member of this creative community. Well, and that's a beautiful thing about what we're calling the Nevermorians, Jeff, is that we share best practices. You know, we all have different areas of expertise. And, you know, Jeffrey, you've been as generous with your time and your creativity as, you know, as anyone could hope to be. You are incredible, my friend. And I love the fact that I can just like contact somebody if I've got a problem and say, how do you do this? And then I get a great answer back. And I'm more than happy to do the same thing. The reason I do it, for those of you who don't know me, is that on the way up, I got so many favors from so many people. It wasn't that I just happened to luck into it, but for whatever reason, I got it. Sometimes just by asking, you know, you have to ask the questions. So, you know, and you should always ask somebody who's doing the work. I dealt with somebody a number of years ago who had written a book, but was taking all of his publishing expectations from his cohorts at the former job he had, none of whom had written a book before, but they all told him what he had to do. Okay. You know, that's kind of like asking a plumber to tune up your car. I think that, you know, you should get information from the people who are actually accomplishing stuff. But anyway, Jeff Hayes, who's accomplishing a lot these days. I'm proud of this young man. I've been invited to do the cover for Pulp Reality #4. We're looking forward to it. Yes. Good. We need to get you on there, Jeff. And I've got a new cover from Jeff Hayes too, for a book that should be coming out later this year called The Terrors. It's a superhero novel with a twist, a lot of twists. And Jeff very graciously did the cover for it. And I want to get that book done so badly now. And Cathy Jackson, the lady we're all here about. Congratulations. Hope everything eases for hubby. Yeah, definitely. We agree with that, Cathy Jackson. And by the way, if you like the name Cathy Jackson, and you should check out this book here. Let me see if I can get this up here. There. Oh, let's see. Oh, wait a second. There we go. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Cathy Jackson's Written on Her Heart, the sequel to Written on His Heart, and the prequel to Written on Their Hearts, and Written on Santastein's Heart and Vulcana's Heart. Anyway, check out Written on Her Heart, available now on Amazon. A fine, super fine book. You will be glad that you purchased it. I know I will be glad you purchased it too. Hey, we're glad to have you here. And Pops Seeley, good to see you, Pops. Pops is a great comic connoisseur and a great voice for the comic book creative community. Good to have you here, Pops Seeley. And Brian Rodman, who is a great comic creator himself, says the best advice I have heard and experienced is now matter what happens. Excuse me. Let me start again, Brian. I apologize. The best advice I have heard and experienced is no matter what happens, keep doing the work. Keep showing up. The more you show up, the more you get in front of people and the more they see you. Exactly. And Brian has just crowdfunded his seventh consecutive comic book, and he's playing a brand new series, in fact, in the next couple of months that is just sheer brilliance. And I'm so glad Brian is my brother here. He is such a wonderful guy, and a super talent. But and that's the thing that a lot of people, especially in the last year with the Peter pandemic, I don't want to get demonetized, not that I am, but a lot of people, when things get tough, I understand like family emergencies. I understand things that throw us off the tracks, but we've got to keep working at this. Especially, you've got to treat this like a job in a lot of respects. When I had a 9-to-5, there was stuff I didn't like doing, but I had to do it because that was my job. We all have things that we don't, no matter what it is, we all have aspects of our craft, of our calling that we maybe are not a big fan of, but we got to do them nonetheless. Because how else will people know about us unless we promote? How else will we get that safety netting we all need, not just emotionally but professionally, by finding another community? I feel I feel bad for the people who subscribe to the writer stereotype about that we're all by ourselves, that we're sitting in this dark little area, this one little light shining upon our writing implement, and we labor without any human contact, and then put the work out and then cry when nobody wants it. That's a horrible stereotype to be promoting. The fact is that my day is livened up. I hear from Brian or Jeff or Cathy or Amy or Teresa or any one of my other friends, and it's good that they're out there and they're doing the same thing I am. And what it does is it inspires me. It inspires me because I hang around these people. You haven't had fun till you've gone out with a bunch of writers and artists. It is unreal. There's a huddle house in Marion, Illinois that Cathy Jackson and I probably can never go back to. Never mind. Anyway, but we celebrate what we do. We celebrate each other's creativity. We celebrate each other's triumphs. And we help each other get through the really bad parts. Like I make no bones about, I, like many creative people, have bouts of depression for various reasons. And I just recently went through a really bad spell, but my friends can help get me through it, along with doing the work. So, there's a lot to be said for finding your tribe, find your community, and get the people you like, and be yourself, be a good person, and they'll like you too. And how are you, Brian? William Quinton, I am so glad to see you. I've been so busy today. I meant to drop you a line. Got your package. That's good stuff. William is an incredible comic book writer, and I'm really enjoying a series he's doing right now. And I've got in the other room where I'd promote you, but otherwise we're here to promote Cathy Jackson and Derek Henderson. Hello again, Brian. Wow, catch you on live twice today. Yeah, I guess your luck ran out, Derek. I'm sorry to say. Derek is a great graphic designer. In fact, Derek very graciously gave me this logo for my morning show, Nevermind the Furthermore, and I have been using it for a long time now. So, but for which I'm grateful. And Derek, I hope you are having a great Saturday. Glad to have you here on this April 10th. And Teresa Dunn, Cathy Jackson is an amazing author. Check out her book, Written on Her Heart. Yes, check out this book here, available now on Amazon. We do urge you to please check that book out. Check out the work of Cathy Jackson. Now, here's another thing about Cathy that I find amazing. She is so sweet. She is one of the sweetest human beings on earth. She really is. Very kind. I mean, she let me be here. How nice is that? And gave me control of a portion of her channel for an hour. Don't know what she was thinking. But, you think of Christian romance, or inspirational romance, I should say. And you're thinking, God, that's got to be boring, especially if you're not religious. If you're not romantic, I don't know what to tell you. But no, a lot of people think that that every page is going to be a sermon in inspirational romance, and it's not true. It's not true. The main thing is the story. Now, the people in the story may be people of faith, and that's okay. Guess what? You're surrounded by them every day. It just may not be yours, or even your lack thereof. But the thing is, I was beta reading one of Cathy's books, Jericho's Walls. I recommend that book to everyone because there was a section in there where, spoilers, the heroine and the male protagonist, they're getting along like this. The whole book. They see each other and they don't like each other. They just think the other one is like, oh, why are you, you are a knuckle dragging waste of DNA, you oxygen thief, you. And at one point they have like an argument that goes nuclear. She turns her back to him to leave the room, and he is so furious. And this is not very woke. He pulls his hand back and slaps her backside with the flat of it. And then Cathy goes into a lot of detail about the sensations that are going through her. And let's just say they aren't painful. And I'm like, Cathy? Cathy? So anyway, inspirational romance doesn't mean it ain't hot, okay? So please check it out. Jericho's Walls, like I said, Jericho's Walls is a fantastic book, but definitely check out Cathy's current offerings. In fact, check out her Amazon sales page. Here's a secret. I'm gonna write it down for everyone. How to find her Amazon sales page. You see, all of us get, or actually it's an author's page, but it always starts out with www, sorry about the camera shaking, amazon.com/author, and then, all right, and let's see here. All right, well, actually, here's what I need to do. Let's take that, and we're going to hit that, and then we're going back here, and then we're going to give you the link to Cathy Jackson's book, Written on Her Heart, the second book in the series. So please check that out. And it's this book here, amazon.com/Written Her Heart book ebook. And that is, you click on that and you will be taken directly to amazon.com where you can purchase a copy of this. And anyway, let's see, let's check out, let's see. So we've got some more comments. Molly Daniels mailed off my app to Metropolis yesterday. Fingers crossed. Yes. In the last, July 29th, 30th, and August 1st will be the relocated Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois. Yes, people, there is a Metropolis in America. It is one of two. This is the only one that's in the zip code directory. The other one is, I think, in New Mexico, and it became a ghost town back in the mid 40s. long before the zip code was introduced. And Cathy Jackson, you are a doll, Teresa Dunn. Hugs, definitely. And please check this out. But like I said, written on her heart. Let's see. Let me get back here. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Yes, here is. If you want to sign up for Cathy Jackson's page, it is Cathy-Jackson here. Okay. Let me do this. Let me put this in here. And this is where you can sign up for her page on Amazon, where you can follow her, and every time, and you follow her, and every time, just like on Facebook, and every time she releases a brand new book and puts it in her author's page, you will be notified, so you won't miss a single Cathy Jackson book from this point on. No, really, thank you. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Sincerely, I just exist to assist. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, please check that out. And here is what Cathy's page looks like. And as you can see, it has her smiling face. A selection of her many books like Bloom and Blossom and Minurazan. That's a good one. And here you get a history about Cathy Jackson, and some blog posts from her, and a couple videos. And look at there is written on his heart, the very first book in this series. You could buy them both, and if you have Amazon Prime, you could get free shipping. But look at that, 5 months. There's the 5 series. Yours, Yours to Trilogy, and let's see, yes, Yours to Love. Right there. That's the one that did it for me. That's what turned me in from a friend to a fan. And also 5 Coffees is pretty good. But check all them out. And she is an incredible writer. And you will love having these books. And thank you to Nicholas Anthony Tucker for sharing this video. Much appreciated, sir. And anyway, and also, folks, if you are appreciate that so much. And if you are enjoying this broadcast, please like the video on Cathy Jackson's books or the Rising Tide Publications page. And also, please give the page itself a like, as a thank you to Cathy for having me here, or send her a note saying, don't ever let the guy in the fez on again, or else. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, where the picture and sound are better, trust me, YouTube, you can please thumbs up. You can thumb up this video. That sounded horrible. Sorry. But it sounded better in my head. But anyway, give this video a thumbs up. And also, please subscribe to our channel. We are trying to get to 1,000 people, so that we can get a lot of other people's messages out. We're not really so much in this before for ourselves. And I need to see Cathy in person again. I'm needing the sequel to Jericho. Oh my goodness, yes, I do too. Well, that's the thing. During the last year, we have all been kind of bereft of each other's company. There's going to be a hug fest when we all get together. I know. I've done I think last year I did 6 personal appearances, 3 before the lockdowns and then 3 at the very end of the year. This has been a very challenging time for many authors, and that's why the support system that a community can really helps. I know so many of us have had feelings of depression and of unworthiness, and imposter syndrome. That's something my shows talk about a lot, and that's imposter syndrome. The idea that one day you're going to be at the typewriter and somebody's going to walk in, take your laptop, and say, okay, you've pretended to be a writer long enough. Time has come for you to actually do something in your life. And we all get it, or at least a lot of us do. But and we deal with it several times on Clever Title Pending. We try to do 1 or 2 shows a year on that. We hope, and we're told we've helped people. I've gotten a lot of help from it. But I was told something by my good friend Carl Witzman. He told me very recently. He's a former counselor, and he said something I thought was profound. He said the only people that get imposter syndrome are the people who have accomplished things. And it reminds you that, like for instance, I say and this is the truth, I've sold books on 3 continents, North America, Asia, and Europe. I'm bootlegged in Russia right now, so surely that means something. I also get to hang around with Cathy and Molly and Amy Hale and Teresa Dunn and Jeff Hayes and some of the most creative, amazing human beings on this planet. And I mentioned inspiration. My community inspires me to do better, so I'm worthy to sit at the same table of those wonderful people. And if that doesn't make your imposter syndrome diminish a little, nothing will. But definitely, I tell people, find your community. And your community will change. You'll lose people. You'll gain people. It's never static. But these people may turn out to be some of your best friends. They have in my case. And please keep the comments coming. But anyway, we talked about promotion and personal appearances. Now, conventions are starting to open up. I will actually be doing my very first personal appearance in 2020. I'm going to be at let me get the dates here. Always keep your dates handy, especially you're like me and can't remember them all the time. Yes, April 23rd and 24th, I will be at the Big River Comic Con in Hannibal, Missouri. It'll be a short night on Friday and then all day on Saturday, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there with author Amy Hale, who has her own broadcast on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, called Creative as Hale, with her husband, Mr. John Hale, or as we like to call him, Mr. Amy Hale. But anyway, it's a great show. A lot of great interviews, a lot of fun on that show. You definitely must check it out on YouTube and on Facebook. And after that, I'm going to be, I may be making a personal appearance May 1st. That's still not yet on the books. But after that, if you are in the Peoria area, I'll be at the Indie Author Book Expo at the Peoria Civic Center at 201 Southwest Jefferson Avenue, downtown Peoria, Illinois. Then in July, I will be with Molly Daniels and Brian Rodman at the Imaginarium at the Holiday Inn in Louisville East on Hurstbourne Parkway in Louisville, Kentucky. Then after that, I'm at on the 17th, I'll be at Heroes for Kids Con, which is a great convention where the money for your table, money for admission, part of it will be given to 2 very worthwhile charitable causes. I'll be there with artist Matthew Ashley, former Disney, Filmation, Hanna-Barbera animator Philo Barnhart, and I think Cathy Jackson may be there. I sure hope so. And then after that, let's see, SI Comic Con in September 18th, non-con. I'll be there with Molly and Amy Hale, and Molly Daniels, Amy Hale. Charles F. Milhouse, who put together this amazing book here, Pulp Reality #1. That'll be a lot of fun. And then Cape Con in Cape Girardeau, Missouri on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Kokomo Con on the 16th of October. And then HalloCon 29th and 30th. That will be a good time. We are going to have a lot of good stuff out there. And we're putting together more books and more excitement. And we hope you'll come to see us. We really do. Molly Daniel says, I do the same thing at both my evening job and my promotion job. Stand around and talk to people and take their money. There we go. The difference is I get to keep the funds when I'm promoting and would rather be doing that with people I actually like. My evening job just ensures I have the funds to travel. I hear that. I totally hear that. And that's the thing a lot, it's like I'm doing this full time, but that's for those who don't know me, it's because I got fired from my day job because of a clerical error in our home base. I used to work for a nationally owned water utility, and somebody made some screw ups out east. Now they got to keep their job, but 26 people, including me, in the state of Illinois lost theirs as a result. So that's why I'm glad I had a plan B. Treat your writing like another job, because one day it may be your job. Joe Dog McKeel of Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. tonight says, looking forward to cons opening up this year myself. I miss the great company of friends there, many of whom I have never met before. Yeah. And it's very true. Like Brian Rodman and I are going to meet at Imaginarium at Louisville. You and I will meet at Stupid O'Clock. I mean, personally meet. We have become friends over the interwebs here. But as far as like hugging, it's like and I'm a hugger. Look out. So a lot of us haven't done that yet. And Brian Rodman says, Brian, for our new folks, what are the best ways to find new shows in your area and beyond? That's an excellent question, Brian. If you are looking to make personal appearances, reach out to your local public library. In fact, reach out to every library within driving distance. Libraries are starving for things for their people to do, for their patrons. And I never charge for a library appearance, and I just tell people, just put me, just give me a flat unmoving surface and let me sell my books while I'm there. And then I usually donate a book or two to the library as a thank you to them. But start with libraries. Also, just do a Google search actually for like book conventions or book signings, events like that. And when you grow your network, frequently we tell each other where we're going to be. Like, I just got this gig in Peoria. This is a good convention. I've worked with this lady before. You ought to think about coming out here. But yeah, a Google search will do a real good job of that. But networking, I think, is probably the most effective way to do it, to get your message out there. But anyway, Brian Rodman, thank you for that great question. Check out brianrodman.com for his the 7th issue, soon to be mailed out, Memoirs of an Angel. It's like Lord of the Rings meets The Exorcist. And Molly Daniels, I won't be at KokomoCon. I got into Comic Con, which is the same weekend. Well, which Comic Con? They all call themselves Comic Con anymore. And Cathy Jackson, I meant every word, says Teresa Dunn. Teresa, you're wonderful. And is Saluki Con still on for September? Not that I'm aware of, to be honest. I don't know that they have. At least I haven't heard that they are starting up. SalukiCon is a convention that happens in Carbondale, Illinois. The first year was called Eclipse Con because it coincided with the eclipse that was coming in, and it turned out that as the sun and the earth moved around, that the eclipse would be visible for the longest time over Carbondale, Illinois. And so they had a comic convention down there, and I was part of that. It was a lot of fun, but because it was with the university, they've canceled it twice, or actually they moved it to the spring. We would have had one in 2020, but they moved it to the spring, and then they said, okay, we can't have it because of liability. But now we're getting the vaccine for what we're calling the Miley Cyrus, or the Mycorrhiza Miley Cyrus. And hopefully by then we will all get our shots by then. So please check it out. Oh, Indianapolis Comic Con. Okay, just wanted to make sure because there's more than one show. And Cathy Jackson says SalukiCon will return in 2022. Okay, that's the last I had heard. It wouldn't surprise me if it got back to September because the first ones were. But that's always a great show. But yeah, definitely. What you should do if you are a writer yourself, here's something I started doing years ago. And it's one of those things where I'm kind of like backward tracking, like reverse engineering my writing career so I can tell other people how to do this. I discovered there were other writers on Facebook and on Twitter. Can you imagine that? Oh my gosh, I know. I hope you all were sitting down. I take no responsibility for the damage caused by your fainting. But no, some of my favorite writers were online. And I thought, well, I'll just follow them. Follow them. And I put in a friend request. And this is before you could just follow a person. So I would follow some people. One of the people I followed was one of the guys who influenced my writing style. A gentleman named a writer by the name of Warren Murphy, who was a very prolific author during his lifetime. He passed away, unfortunately, several years ago. But he co-created one of the top paperback adventure series of the 70s and 80s called The Destroyer, about a character named Rima Williams. That was turned into a 1983 movie with Fred Ward and Joel Grey and Wilford Brimley. A fantastic movie. by the same production team that put together the James Bond films, but it didn't hit, darn it. But anyway, when I was writing my very first book, Bloodshot the Coldest Warrior, unfortunately now out of print. But anyway, a friend of mine was asking, well, how do I go about plotting out a book? And Warren had a 12 steps program, as he called it, and I think it's still there under warrenmurphy.com. But it was basically telling you how to start with a basic idea, how to develop it, then sitting down and writing it, and then what to do once it's done. Once that first draft is done. And it was usually things like pay attention to your syntax, don't go overboard on redundancy, eliminate all those, take out unnecessary adverbs, and comb your hair. But one night, somebody asked me what online resources there were for writing books, and I mentioned Warren Murphy on Facebook. I accidentally tagged him. I didn't realize what I had done. I got a very nice direct message from Warren Murphy the next day saying, thank you for the shout out, Brian. I genuinely appreciate it, and good luck with your writing career. Fanboy. Oh, I fanboyed so hard. I do that occasionally. I get to hang around with people I genuinely respect, not just my own peer group, but I've made contacts with other people who are far more popular than I am. And it's kind of gratifying. Somebody will say, like, well, do you know Bobby Nash? Do you know Jim Beard? Do you know Amy Hale? Do you know fill in the blank? And I said, yes. And not only that, they know me. That's what's important, that they memorize your name, or at least don't flee when they hear it. But so anyway, that's a good way to get information and how to follow other people. Because like if somebody says, I'm going to be setting up at Gen Con, and you might think, well, maybe I'll look into Gen Con. Or if they follow me, I'm not very shy about telling people where I'm about to go. Because I get told where to go an awful lot, as you can well imagine. But one thing I do, if you want to keep up on the shows that I'm doing, I do urge you all to subscribe to my newsletter. And this wasn't where the conversation was angling. It just happened to, hashtag always promote. risingtide.pub. Go there, www.risingtide.pub. And you'll see my webpage, and at the very top of it there, you'll see a link to where you can sign up for my free monthly newsletter. Most of the time, I don't even try to sell you anything. I'm not very hard sell on there. But we talk about where we're at, where we're going. We have our confirmed show schedule for all of 2021 up there currently. So if you want to find out where we're going to be, that's where you can find out. And if you have any questions on the show, you can contact me and I'll answer as best I can. We also have 2 secret links, which are usually YouTube videos that could be anything from a recreation of the 1938 Panic broadcast with Orson Welles to marble racing, which is one of my fetishes right now. And also an inspirational quote. And generally, if you want an attaboy, this is the place to get it. So please sign up for my free monthly newsletter if you would. And we will not give away your contact information to anyone, so you won't get any spam because of us, because we hate that stuff too. So that was an excellent question. But yeah, and you see some shows mentioned here. Definitely try them out. Like I started out doing comic book conventions because I come from a comic book, not just reading, but retail background. And that was mostly what I was familiar with. And I've done a lot of good with comic shows. Then I segued over, well, it's like, wait a minute, they've got this stuff for books too. So I segued over into book shows too. And it can get exhausting. It can get expensive. And it can take a lot of your time. But you need to do that. It's like I spent, what was it? I think it was 2017, I think it was. Time has lost all meaning during the pandemic for me. But I think it was 2017. I had what I called, I still do, an aggressive personal appearance schedule. I had show dates from late January till early December. And during that entire year, I only took 4 days off on the weekend. And a lot of that included Friday evening shows. I had several shows where I would be in one place on Saturday, then some other place on Sunday. But you know what? A lot of people know me now. You have the people who succeed in this business. It's kind of like a musical group that plays the bars and plays the small arenas every night. They go out on the road for a year and a half and then they release a record. Look at the early career of Van Halen or Kiss, and look what they turned into. See, so anyway, the people who succeed in this business are the ones who do what the others will not. The people who succeed in this business are the ones who will put their work out when others won't. They will make the travel arrangements because others don't want to be inconvenienced. They will mentor other people when others are too busy to bother to help. Those are the people who are going to succeed in this business and do. Cathy Jackson, the one, the only. I have a question, Brian. What comic book are you loving right now? Oh, man. Oh, I have several. The ones that spring to mind is our good friend Eric Hawkins, who has a wonderful book out called The Zombieful World of Oz. And it's a sequel to the L. Frank Baum books. But in this one, Dorothy Gale has been convinced that she has been insane. She spent time in a sanitarium, and she has been done away with these delusions about flying monkeys and witches and tin woodsmen and yellow brick roads and emerald castles. And then one day she's attacked by a zombie, and the people that leap to her defense are a scarecrow, a lion, and what appears to be a metal steampunk man. It's written with great wit, great fun. Eric Hawkins is an exemplary comic book creator, and I love this book. Another book that I'm loving right now just came out, was a 3-part miniseries called Superman Meets Imperious Lex, and it takes place in the somewhat near future, where Lex Luthor has found a planet where he's considered a hero, but he's clearly not. And Superman and Lois Lane represent the United Planets to see whether that planet should be given member status or not. And it's written with a lot of humor, a lot of real great subtext about totalitarianism and politics and stuff. It's really great. Also, another one I've loved for years called Knights of the Dinner Table, and it's a comic book about tabletop gamers like D&D, and it's all about their personal relationships. It's a great book. Thank you, Cathy, for that question. From the desk of a small press publisher, tonight, 10 p.m., Joe D. McPhee. Please check him out every Saturday night. Great show. And tonight it was with the superstar cosplayer Kara Nicole and her agent Lisa Malone. Hey, Brian, who's in trouble since you were streaming on a Saturday? Nobody. I'm out of trouble. This is my get out of jail free card, man. This is washing my my karma clean, if you will. But anyway, check out my friend Joe tonight on from the desk from a small press publisher on YouTube, and please subscribe to that channel. Eric Hawkins says Cathy Jackson is an amazing creative person, interesting person to speak to too. He has great stuff. He does, and he's also my co-host along with Brian Rodman and Clyde Hall on Comic Book Spectrum Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check it out. And Keisha Acuff, no, you aren't late, darling. We're early. Okay? I love you, beautiful. Glad to see you here. You're making my day. And we have a couple minutes left. If someone has a quick question, we can try to answer it. But otherwise, we're going to wrap it up because Felicity Brandon is following me. Please stick around and check out what Felicity is going to be doing for the takeover of Cathy Jackson's books today to celebrate First Written on Her Heart by Cathy Jackson. See, I have to look at it to make sure I don't screw it up like I did last time when I was on. Oh God! But now Cathy has about 24 titles she can now use. You know, written on her dog's heart, written on Mr. Ed's heart. It got thick. Anyway, please check out Written on Her Heart by the wonderful Cathy Jackson, and be sure to pick up the prequel to that, Written on His Heart. Cathy is an innovative, inspirational romance author and a dear friend, and I would really love to see her rankings go up through the roof on this one. She is an incredible talent. We are blessed to call her our friends. And so anyway, please, I'm going to be picking up that book this year. And I think you should too. The sooner the better. And Cathy Jackson, hello. Glad you made it. Definitely, Keisha. And we're glad all of you made it. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Cathy, for having us here. And thoroughly enjoyed this. Thanks for the tips. Thank you, Facebook user. I appreciate it. Please let me know who you are later. But as it is right now, we are going to be signing off because, like I said, Felicity Brandon's taking over the channel. And it's going to be amazing. Thank you again, Cathy Jackson, for allowing me to be here. Matthew Jackson, love you, brother. And we love you, Cathy, and we love all of you that tuned in today. Thank you for being here. Be sure to follow me on Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel, Brian K. Morris, Rising Tide Publications. Please please subscribe to that channel because we got all kinds of great stuff. Oh, and it's Nathan Day. Thank you, Nathan. Good to see you here, man. It didn't tell me. It didn't tell me. You know, I should have known from the absolute charm of the posts. So anyway, thank you, Nathan, for being here, and thank you for helping host this thing. This has been a great time. Thank you all for your questions and your comments. I appreciate you all. And please follow me, like I said, on Facebook. That's where I'm normally at. Check out Rising Tide Publications on Facebook, Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Also, check out our plethora of shows on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And please follow me on YouTube, and please like and subscribe there if you would. And thank you, Cathy Jackson. Love you, darling. You incredibly you. I appreciate it. And now we're going to toss this over to Felicity Brandon. And thank you again for being here, one and all. And as always, folks, and we're going to get to we're kind of mumbling till we can get to the right spot for the closing video, folks. Thank you again for being here. Appreciate your attention. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And please pick up those Cathy Jackson books, all right? You'll be glad you did. So as always, this is Brian K. Morris, independent writer, independent publisher, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant saying, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.